Hello and welcome to the QDCMS tutorial for the Events module. The Events module can be used for both an event calendar and to handle event registration. For the purposes of this demonstration, we'll be using two websites, one to demonstrate an event calendar, and that will be 918moms.com, and the other to demonstrate event registration, and that will be jbfsale.com. Here we are inside of QDCMS with the Events module selected. When you first go to the Events module, you see the calendar interface so that it looks and feels much like a calendar. You have a small calendar on the left that allows you to quickly navigate to other months, and you can click on a date in the future, and then that will change the big calendar to display that month. To see more details about a particular event, just hover over the event and you can see the details where it allows you to delete all instances, delete this instance, or if you just go ahead and click that link, it will take you in and allow you to edit that particular event. Let's take a look at the Pending Events tab for the 918 Moms site. On their site, they have a capability that allows their users to submit calendar events. So here we have a few pending events. It shows who the submitter is, as well as making a link to their email address in case I have questions about this event, the event name, and the status of pending. I can either approve or delete these events one by one or all at once. I can click on the name of that event and it will show all of the event details down below. Now let's take a look at the Add an Event. Here we have the Add Event form, which provides us with the event name, which is the event name that will show up on the website, the category of the event status, and then options on the frequency, date, and time of these particular events. This is when the event occurs. So you can set it as an all-day event, an event over multiple days, an event that starts and ends at a particular time. You can also set a repeat frequency by using these options here. Below the frequency of the event, we have the web address field where we can fill out a web address for the people to go to retrieve additional information about this particular event. And below that is a description field where you have a full WYSIWYG editor that allows you to create a brief description about this event. And in the right column, there is the Select Groups option, which will display the groups for the address book of the site we have selected. And by clicking the checkboxes for these groups, it is tied to event registration, which we'll get to in a minute. This provides the opportunity for people to register for this particular event in this particular group or groups that we have selected. Let's move on down to the optional fields. Underneath the description, we have email to send, where we can define who that email is coming from, who we want the CC to go to, the carbon copy, the subject line of the email. This would be a confirmation email that would go out once somebody actually registers for this event, somebody who signs up for the event. And here in the message field, we have the WYSIWYG editor, so we can make this a rich message that goes to the person who's registered for this event. And the next optional area underneath that is pricing and registration. Here we can set the pricing for this event, guest price, discount type, the percent off. We can also, this is where we would define the registration start time and end time. This is the period of time that registration would run for this particular event. Now up above, the description and the web address area is the start time and end time for the event itself. And down here below in pricing and registration is where we would define how long the registration lasts. So we can set the start time and the end time there. Underneath that is the optional field to provide a location. Here we can click a drop down and choose none, choose a new location where it would provide us with a blank form where we can fill out the information, or we can choose an existing location and fill in the location information. And below that, still, we have one final area that we can fill out, which would be the contact information for this particular event. First name, last name, phone number, contact email, address information, and we can fill out a new contact or use an existing contact. And when we're done, we just hit submit, and it will add the event to our events page here. Now here in the show events option, we have selected a just between friends website, and here's an event. We'll click on this event to edit it, and we can see how it's the same form as the add event, but it has certain fields already filled in, or we can update these fields, change them, and update the event itself by clicking the submit button at the bottom of the form. The final thing that we'll look at here is the categories option. This is where we can provide different types of events that people can register for or that can show up on our event calendar. And that's it for the event module inside QDCMS.